What is up, everybody? Back at it again here. I know you see the title, and you might think it's bullshit, but stick around because I might drop some game that could change your life. Yeah, let's jump right into it. So I think that this is the most underslept thing. A lot of people think house hacking is the way to get into real estate, and I think it's awesome. But this method I'm just going to refer to as the live and flip is extremely powerful, and you don't have to live with anybody else, and you do not have to have tenants if you don't want to. So the game here is that there is a tax law. I'll just start with this. There's a tax law that incentivizes home ownership that basically says in America, as a single person, you can buy a house and live in it for 2 years. And in 2 years and 1 day, if you want to sell your house, you can collect up to $250,000 in profit or equity tax-free. And if you're married, that's $500,000. So this takes long-term flipping to a whole new level. Let's just say I have a house, right? I live in Massachusetts. Let's say I have a house in Boston, right? $500,000. I buy this fixer-upper, and finding the deal is going to be the hard part, obviously. So you have to reach out to real estate agents. You have to connect to a network, find a wholesaler even. It's not going to be that hard to find a deal to make decent money on. The more money you want to make, the harder the deal is going to be to find. But find a good deal, a good fixer-upper in an area that you like. Let's say I want to live in Boston. I find a house for $500,000, right? I want to buy it off market, under market value. It works on the MLS too, but you got to find a deal that's under market valued and needs a cosmetic rehab. So you buy a house for $500,000, whatever you want to do, buy it cash, then refinance, or buy it with a mortgage if you can. You buy this house for $500,000, right? And let's say it needs $50,000 in renovations, and then you think it can be worth $700K. That's not a very crazy fix and flip. Those deals, I see those deals on a weekly basis. Worth 500, needs 50, 60 in cosmetics, can be worth 700. So you put 50, 60 into it cash. Maybe you get a few percentage points of appreciation over the next 2 years. Maybe the market dips a little bit, who knows? But you have pretty much solidified $100,000 in equity after 2 years that you can take tax free. That means if you work a W-2, you're probably gonna have to make, that money would take you, $135,000 or whatever your tax rate is to make that much money tax free. And this is by living in the property and hiring some contractors or fixing it up yourself. Not that much work. Maybe, a few weeks or months worth of work, but 2 years you'll be able to sell this house and take all the profit tax free. So we'll do some quick math. Bought it for 500, put 50 into it, sold it for 700 after 2 years and 1 day. That's $150,000. Take away some tax, some title fees and some closing costs, back end commissions with the real estate agents. Let's just be very conservative and say it's $120,000 in tax-free profit. That's some crazy game right there. You can make an extra $60,000 a year to your income just by doing a live and flip. This is a crazy hack for your 20s. Obviously, if you have a family, it's a little bit harder, but I don't understand why more everyday people don't do this. You're working a W-2 job, and so say over, a 6-year period, you do 3 of these live and flips. Let's say 7 years, because there might be some gaps. So over a 7-year period, you do, you and your wife are making combined $100,000 a year, $50,000 each a year, and you do, over 7 years, you do 3 live and flips. Your income from your W-2s over that 7-year period would roughly be $700,000. But if you do some really good live and flips, between 3 live and flips, you can pretty easily make, $250,000, $300,000 tax free. That's pretty much adding 50% to your household income over that 7-year period. And that will allow you to put the money towards your next property and get you in your dream home and hopefully be able to pay it off very, very quickly and have a home you own in cash that you only have to pay the utilities and taxes on. That's my plan as I get into home ownership. I think that's very, very, very powerful if you do it the right way. So I hope I explained it the right way. If anybody has any questions, I'll drop my Instagram in the bio. Hit me up, or just comment it down and I should be able to answer the questions. But I think that's crazy game. I don't know why more people aren't doing it. House hacks are awesome too. I can talk about that in another video, but the live and flip is one of the most slept on things I think in real estate for everyday people to use. All right, everybody. God bless. Peace.